This one is part of the motivation series, hence why we've got the little carrot and stick there. And we're looking at Maslow's Hierarchy of Needs, written by Abraham Maslow around 1943. Maslow created his hierarchy of needs, which, as most people know about hierarchies, is a triangle, and he decided that there would be 5 layers. Now, it depends what text you read. Actually, it did go up to 7, it went up to 9 for a bit, then went back down to 7, etc. But I'm a bit of a purist, I like the original 5. So the first need is the physiological need, sometimes known as the basic need. And this one is it's kind of the need for things like food, water, shelter, warmth, etc. So these are your basic needs. These are your survival needs. I've often seen it referred to as survival needs as well. So interestingly, they're your physiological needs. You need to have them met before you can move forward and develop and be motivated. Next, we look at your safety needs. So do you feel safe? Because once again, it's very hard for you to be motivated if somebody's chasing you. All your motivation is about your fight or flight reflex. Okay, and same in a job situation. It's sometimes very hard to feel motivated if you know your job's going to end soon, or if you're on a 0 hours contract. This is where some of the issues are. 0 hours contract, you don't know how much hours you're going to get next week, so it's hard to be motivated to do a good job this week. We've got love and belonging. This is the next need. So it's the need to be part of a group, part of something bigger. Okay. Now, from what I read, Abraham Maslow himself didn't know if that need should be there, if it should be higher up, etc. And my case in point I know it's a bit of a silly one, but I use Harry Potter as the argument here, because I know he's only fictional, but if you remember the first 13 years of Harry Potter's life, he wasn't really part of the family, he didn't really belong, he wasn't feeling loved, etc. He lived in a cupboard under the stairs, so he never really knew the whole love and belonging. And if he hadn't gone to Hogwarts and met his friends, etc., would he have valued being part of a team, being part of something bigger? Because for the first 13 years of his life, he wasn't. And that's where Maslow had his real conundrum, whether love and belonging should be there or not. Next we have is the esteem needs. Sometimes I call it R&R, which is reward and recognition. So it's getting the pat on the back, the well done, the pay rise, or the bigger job, etc. So these are all esteem needs. These all help you fulfill your self-esteem. And then finally, we have the self-actualization. Self-actualization, I kind of like the American Army of be all you can be, or the British one of be the best. You know, it's about being the best version of who you are. That is self-actualization. It's really releasing your full potential. Now, it's a hierarchy, which means you have to start at the bottom and work your way up. If we look at education as part of self-actualization, so education is part of your development and being the best you can be. But there's no point trying to educate you if your physiological needs aren't being met. If you are hungry, there's no point me trying to teach you anything, because all you'll be doing is sat there thinking, when am I going to have my sandwich? Now you've been fed, you're watered, you're warm, you're dry, etc. So now we look at your safety needs. Same again. If I'm trying to teach you something and there's a big grizzly bear outside, you're probably not listening to the lesson, thinking more about, oh, that bear looks a bit nasty. And so we need to make sure that the safety needs are met, and then we can move on again. Now we look at the love and belonging. So this is why usually teamwork is so big in education, because it's really trying to fulfill that need of making sure you fit within the class, so that nobody's ostracized from the class and that you feel part of something bigger. Then we'll look at the self-esteem, and we all like a sticker, a well done, a congratulatory pat on the back, a smile, a thumbs up, etc. And that's where education is quite good at that, you know, giving you the badges and the stickers and the grades, etc. And then the self-actualization comes hopefully from your feedback as well, so it really lets you know how you can develop as an individual, and that's all motivation. Now once again, you've got to turn this into a working context. So physiological needs. This might be something as simple as lunch breaks, making sure staff have adequate lunch breaks. Safety needs, do they have the correct PPE? Love and belonging, do they feel like they're a valued member of your team? Esteem, esteem's a great one. Asda did a 2-year study on looking at how to motivate their employees, and all they really found that was you can do all the pay rises and all these motivational things, but just a well-placed, well-timed thank you went so far, and they forgot that. And it's an obvious statement, but as I said, we all like a sticker, we all like a well done. And that then leads to self-actualization. It's the real, you see these motivational videos on kind of social media all the time, we should do what we love and you'd never work a day in your life and things like that. And that's all part of the self-actualization. So there we can see Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It's got 5 key areas, And the key thing is you've got to build from the bottom upwards.